Hi, it's me Sabrina for Small Talk. The past couple of weeks have been really exciting for the Human Resources team. We got to meet a lot of people and go to a lot of events. Now, one of the really fun things that I got to do in the past couple of weeks was to go to the DBS headquarters in Shenton Way. They very kindly invited us along with a group of students from universities in Singapore to see what happens behind the scenes at a real bank. And the most exciting part for me, I think for everyone, was that we got to see the trading floor of DBS. It's not as exciting as I thought it would be like in the movies, but it was still quite an impressive setup. I mean, it's 200 people on the trading floor. Each of them had at least, 6 monitors and keyboards, and the phones were going off, so it's still very exciting. So this is part of their recruitment strategy, inviting students to come in and see the inner workings as well as talk to bankers, consultants, and really find out how it is like to be a banker or someone in the financial industry in Singapore. I suppose it not only provides the potential hire or the candidates with an inside view of the culture and what it's like and the everyday happenings, but it also gives the employer a better chance to identify talent that would be a good fit for the organization. So if this is something that your company does, if you've done tours or recruitment drives that are interesting and unique, let us know. We would love to share them with the rest of our readers. The other event that we went to was the launch of the Coca-Cola concentrate plant in Tuas. It's actually the plant that is going to supply the concentrate to over 200 beverages under the Coca-Cola arm to not only Singapore but also other countries in the APAC region. So it's really, really fun. We didn't get to go and see the factory floor itself because, it's all very secretive and confidential, but we did get to meet a couple of executives, and they did share their recruitment plans as well as why they chose Singapore to be the next hub. Lastly, we also went to the Singapore Human Capital Summit at Resorts World Sentosa that took place just this week on Wednesday and Thursday, and of course all the HR big shots from around the region and even around the world were here. Now, I got to meet with Professor Peter Cappelli, a renowned HR thought leader, and he shared his thoughts on social media, on technology, as well as talent in Asia. He also shared his opinion on why there is no such thing as a global leader and how Asian HR leaders compare to their global counterparts. So
what
this
does
is
it mean
what
to
he
be
had to say.
a global leader? I think when you press people on that, the answers you get are pretty vague. But one of the things is this issue of sort of sensitivity sensitivity to issues outside of your own country of origin and country of operation, which is another way of saying that we're defining it by what it's not, right? So a global leader is somebody who is not simply a country-specific specialist. But what does it actually mean to be globally sensitive, right? Well, let's say you are, I think the answer obviously going to depend on what company you're in, but let's say I am somebody who has, who I personally as an individual want to get ahead. And my experience is Singapore-based, and I've spent some time working with Chinese companies. So that's my basic experience. So I know a lot about Singapore, I know a little bit about China. And I wanted to be somebody who was thought of as a global leader. I guess I would say go spend some time in Europe, right? Because it looks like you are diverse that way, right? I'm not sure that it makes you a better manager of any place in particular, but it makes people think that you're global because you've had quite different experiences in quite different places. That's kind of a cheap answer, right, in the sense that it is playing in some ways to the uninformed preferences of, senior people. But I'd say that's kind of what they don't know exactly what they're looking for, and they can't define it very well, so they define it sort of superficially. What sort of experiences have you had? What they really ought to be asking is, what are you good at? What can you actually do? And what that means in practice, good at what, do what, is pretty company specific.
Someone else that I was really excited to meet was Scott Price. He's the president and CEO of Walmart Asia. Now, he was a bit more candid and personal in our interview with him. Price also shared his recruitment strategies, what he looks for in his job candidates, and how he finds the right fit.
When I do interviews, the technical side ask lots of technical questions, whether it be finance or whether it be merchandising or operations. But in terms of the cultural fit, it's getting to know the individual. How do they deal with stress? What makes them happy? What makes them angry? What is an area of development that they think that they need to work on, and how we can help them work on those sorts of things. So we have pretty extensive interview processes to get a real sense of the person. But you get to a point where you read people, and I'm generally able to read people and get a sense of individuals, and whether or not they'd be able to succeed in our company or not. So I find that pretty useful.
And that's all for this week's Small Talk. Join me next week. Hopefully we have a lot more events to share with you. And as usual, if you have any questions or any comments, do share them with us on our Facebook page, our Twitter page, as well as on our blog. Don't forget to get your hands on the September issue of the magazine. The October one is just around the corner, so hold on for that. And I wish you a really nice weekend. Bye!